Welcome to the Kofax ReadSoft Online for Microsoft Dynamics NAV session. In this session, we will sign up for the trial or live service of the Kofax ReadSoft Online invoice extraction service for Microsoft Dynamics NAV. We will activate and configure both the extraction service and the NAV integration. We will create an end user account for invoice processing and process an invoice from a supplier, and finally create an incoming document in Microsoft Dynamics NAV. To sign up for the extraction service, go to the store at store-nav.readsoftonline.com. Click Order Now. Depending on what service level you would like to subscribe to, make your selection. In this session, we will sign up for a free trial by clicking Get Free Trial button. To register, fill out the form and click Continue. You will now receive an automated activation email. Please note that this email is sent from no-reply@readsoftonline.com and might end up in your spam folder. The activation email contains your unique authorization key that you will use when activating the integration inside of NAV. Follow the instructions and change your password and save this email. You will need it again shortly. Once you've changed your password, you can log in to the admin center of Kofax ReadSoft Online. You're now logged into the admin center and can configure the extraction service to your likings. In this session, we will use the Welcome Guide. Click on the Welcome Guide to the right, followed by the Enable Verify button. By enabling Verify, you will make sure that invoices with validations or quality issues will be shown to an AP staff member for inspection and correction. Click the Edit button. Set the data verification setting to Always to turn on verification of all invoices. You can at any time change this setting. Click Save and then click on your company name in the top left corner to return to the Welcome Guide. Now, let's add a new end user for invoice processing. Click Add Additional Users. Click Add to add a new end user. This user will have access to the data verification and exception handling screen called Verify. Fill out the form and make sure the user role is set to User and not Administrator. Under the Privilege tab, you can make changes to the user access. By default, most settings are already enabled. If you would like to allow your users to be able to delete invoices in the exception handling screen, check the box for Delete Documents. It's recommended to check the box for Manual Document Separation. This will allow the user to split and reorder incoming multi-page invoices. Save and close the Add User configuration. Your new end user is now created and ready to be used. Click on your company name in the top left corner to return to the Welcome Guide. Now it's time to configure what fields you would like to extract from your invoices. Click on the Edit button and unlock the settings for fields to be captured. It's recommended to change the Auto Rotate option to detect 0 or 90-degree rotations. This will allow the service to automatically rotate invoices to a readable orientation. As you can see, the Kofax ReadSoft Online extraction service can process invoices in many different languages. In this session, we will click and select US invoices with line items. The list of header and footer fields available for extraction is shown. Uncheck unwanted fields. For example, if you're not processing invoices with IBAN numbers or value-added tax, VAT, you can now uncheck those fields and move on to the Line Items section tab. Same thing goes for line items. It's recommended to leave the default settings as is. Now move over to the Results tab. The default settings are recommended here as well. You can read more about rules in the Help section. Click the Save button and navigate back to the Welcome screen by clicking on your company name in the top left corner. Now let's configure the email address that will be used by your suppliers to submit invoices to the Kofax ReadSoft Online extraction service. This is the email address you can communicate with your suppliers. The default settings can be used here as well. You can create an unlimited number of ingestion email addresses, and you can read more about its functionality in the Help section. Now open up the Welcome Activation email along with the Dynamics NAV application. Inside of NAV, search for OCR settings in the search section in the top right corner. To fill out this configuration card, open the welcome activation email and copy and paste the information shown on the screen. Activate the integration and test the connection. Click the OK button to save. Now let's review the job queue entries created by the integration. Make sure you see job queue 884, 880, and 881. Also make sure all 3 jobs are started and scheduled to run. The integration between Kofax ReadSoft Online and Microsoft Dynamics NAV is now completed, and you're ready to process invoices. Open the new user welcome email you received from noreply@readsoftonline.com. Follow the link to set your password. Go to nav.readsoftonline.com and log in with your newly created end user. You're now logged into the exception handling screen called Verify. To the left, you will see folders indicating where your invoices will appear. To test the solution, you can easily upload an invoice image to the web browser by clicking the Upload node in the top left corner. Browse to an invoice image located on your computer or drag and drop the invoice images into your browser. Click Upload and send the invoice image to the extraction cloud. After a few seconds, the invoice will appear under the Verify node. The supplier will most likely be identified by use of the synchronized supplier master data that you configured to run inside of Microsoft Dynamics NAV. Double-click the invoice to open and review. You will now see the result of the invoice data extraction. In this case, there are no validation errors. Review the invoice and double-click the fields you would like to extract, unless the extraction service automatically extracting the fields for you. Click the OK button in the bottom right corner to send the extracted invoice data along with the invoice image to Microsoft Dynamics NAV. You can now see under the In Progress node one invoice with status Document Export in Progress. When this process completes, the invoice is available inside of NAV. Open NAV and search for incoming documents in the search section up in the top right corner. The invoice has now been created and the Kofax ReadSoft Online process has ended. From here you can use standard or custom NAV functionality to drive the invoice towards approval and payment. This concludes the session on how to register, activate, and configure Kofax ReadSoft Online for Microsoft Dynamics NAV.